All right, this meeting has been properly noticed. I don't have any community participation. So we're gonna move on to the approval of the school board minutes. So we've got a regular closed session. Meetings to review. Closed session has been distributed. And we can do these together.
I move to approve the minutes of the August 25th, 2025 regular and closed session school board meeting as presented.
A second, please. All right, thanks, Adam. Roll call, please.
Mr. Andre.
Yes.
Mayor Gordon.
Yes.
Mrs. Ingersoll is excused. Let me cross that out. Okay, Mrs. Costa,
Yes.
Mrs. Reckles,
Yes.
Mr. Scarrow,
Yes.
Mrs. Vaughn,
Yes.
and Mr. Grieving.
Abstain.
Great work. And Ms. Krakowski.
Abstain.
All good.
All right.
Got that out of the way, right? All right, general and other fund bills.
The business office offers for approval the following US bank check numbers 155,686 and 155,687. BMO checks numbers 160,278 to 160,367. Wire numbers 315 to 317. ACH numbers 124 to 164 for a total of $357,865.10. You have any questions?
Board members.
Yeah, this is,
Yeah,
this is like 2 weeks in a row. I don't know.
Kathy's good. Kathy's good.
Sorry.
Okay, I would need a motion to move this forward.
Well, Ed, since you're over there, I'll do it. I move to approve the general and other fund bills of September 8th, 2025. US bank check numbers 155,686, 155,687, BMO check numbers 160,278, 160,367, wire numbers 315 to 317, and ACH numbers 124 to 164, in a combined amount of $357,865.10 as presented.
Thank you. A second,
I'll
please.
second.
It's been moved and seconded to move and approve the general and other fund bills of September 8th, 2025. US bank check numbers 155,686 and 155,687. BMO check numbers 160,278 to 160,367. Wire numbers 315 to 317 and ACH numbers 124 to 164 in the combined amount of $357,865.10 as presented. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Okay, approval of transportation contract with Durham School Services.
We already have an approved contract. Durham came back to us because of the low enrollment numbers in the 4-year-old kindergarten. They consolidated some of the midday routes. And so the overall contract amount was further reduced and adjusted based on the reduction of the midday routes, which would be a natural attrition. It wasn't a reduction in the services, just not as many kids were. Just over 100 students in one day.
Did we extend the terminal? Or we just changed,
Just
changed amounts for this year?
reduce the amount of routes, and then they increased the rates a little bit to make sure that they, I'm sure, made their margin. But even with that, the reduction in routes, we still gained a savings of another $20,000 after this second.
80,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was originally we were looking at about 120. I think it's.
Then it went up to 200 it went up to 180, 185 with the additional reduction of routes, and then they're like, well, we can't sustain this much loss, and so this was the kind of the third iteration of the contract, and so that was the other $20,000.
So we're still have
So-
overall savings of like 165.
210.
Other questions?
I noticed on the very first page, there's no date.
I-
Or I'm sorry, it says page 2. After the-
I was under the understanding that it said March because that's when the first contract was signed.
Right, but entered into this blank day of March 2025. Does that matter to anybody else?
Mattered to me, and then I asked and they still,
Okay. I'm just curious.
they also
because
left off, Schedule B that I had to ask a couple times for, but
We have it all in the end.
yeah.
Okay.
I share that same sentiment.
What I do every day. Yeah.
When we sign that, just put the right date.
Yes,
in.
I'll do it.
Make sense?
Yeah, does it say like as modified anywhere? I'm just, I guess I'm not seeing it. Is it? So
It
it's
says we
it's a
are-
modification of the original contract? Does it indicate that anywhere that it's a modification?
I don't think so.
Last proposal. Okay.
So like the rates in Schedule A, that's what's gonna go going forward.
Okay.
So it's
I'm
really,
saying,
it's really it's a new agreement. It's
yeah,
not a modification, it's a new agreement.
right, that's why I'm asking.
Yep.
You know, do we need to go back to previous dates? Do we need to, is it being signed as of today? I'm just curious.
Yep, I think it's a great question. I think it's gonna be signed up as when we execute the agreement.
Okay, so does that first page need to change then, or, and again, page 2, top of page 2, in the bottom?
Not just top of page 2, the signature.
Or signature
page
pages,
Also says
right,
blank day of March.
Just put a line through it. We need more.
okay. Okay, that's.
I don't wanna extend the contract further, and I know that's not the intent of it, but it's to sign off on the changed rates from the
Correct.
original contract to reflect that.
Okay,
Because the years of service are stated in Schedule A,
okay,
25, 26, 27, 25 through 30.
right, right. And there, I see there's a base missing on page, what page is this? 5. Middle of the page, yellow highlight. Right before section 9. In fact, the paragraph before section 9.
See it? You follow what that should be, Chris, at all, what that base should be?
On, yeah, I see it. So it's gonna be a Schedule B, which is.
Not the regular daily transportation. 110, or I'm sorry, 1.
And 1.1 million?
Yeah, 1.1.
I don't see any reference to like a base or anything, so that's what I'm
Mhm.
struggling to.
I would recommend that we table it, we send it back, we make
Yeah.
them complete the numbers and the dates.
Yeah,
Awesome.
We tell them the board didn't approve because it's incomplete. So-
yeah, there's too many.
I know Chris has already pushed back on them a couple of times on that, so
I'd be happy to go back
that
again.
just helps and
Yeah.
says, no, it's incomplete, so. That would be my.
Too many
many.
too many ends that aren't tied,
Yeah.
yeah,
All
yeah.
right, nope, that's what we'll do.
Sounds good.
We'll bring it back to the next one, yeah.
All right, highlight of the evening, student representative report.
Alright,
We do like an introduction of you guys too, maybe?
Yes.
Please.
So I'm Maya, I'm a senior this year, and then I just joined student council this year as like for this basically to be the student representative. And then Max is this
Yeah, I'm a junior. I'm the student council president. It's my 3rd year in. The first year I was just a student vet. Second year I was the treasurer of the whole thing, and then this year I'm the president.
How about share why you both wanted to serve on the school board as student reps?
Well, for me, it was a big part of kind of speaking for the students. I feel like I had heard a lot about what people were thinking and their opinions, especially with like when the referendum was going on and then the aftermath of that. I had just heard a lot of people that were feeling like they wish there was a way that they could get to speak to the people in charge, and so I feel like this is kind of something where maybe I could help out a bit. And then I do like to know what's going on, and I do like to be very involved in my community, so I think that's a big part for me.
I personally kind of enjoy sharing what's going on with Elkhorn High School mainly because we're in it. And like I run a lot of the student council events, and I also like knowing what's going on out here that affects what I'm doing in the high school. So just like communication, I kind of get to see it firsthand.
Yes,
Welcome.
yes, welcome.
Thank you.
Who's leading? Who's leading the charge?
I'll start. So for the high school, the week before school started, actually, a couple of NHS volunteers went to the Aurora Lakeland Medical Center and basically moved out a bunch of clothes from a trailer into the hospital. And we actually gave them to a bunch of burn patients, which I think was a really cool thing to see, so I chose to include that. And then the first day of school, we had senior sunrise, so the whole class showed up about an hour before school. Bright and early, 6 a.m. and we just had some breakfast, played games, saw everyone kind of reunited. And then we had that first football game at Delavan, the Hero Bowl. I know obviously there's a lot of Delavan participation, but I saw a lot of families coming to Elkhorn, kind of kicking off the year, which was definitely awesome to see. And then also, we have two seniors that have been doing our morning announcements every day. Sometimes they share a joke, today they sing a song, it's a little different every time. And then we've also started practice with our one act plays, which will take place the first day of homecoming week.
And when is homecoming week?
Homecoming itself is October 4th, I believe homecoming week starts September 29th, 30th. Yeah, it's earlier this year. Then at the middle school, girls basketball and cross country has started, and then this year, something that's new is sixth graders are able to do girls basketball for the first time. And then additionally, they have a new elective, Makerspace, which I've heard a lot of students are super excited about. It's an elective that's kind of more hands-on, so students that are a little more techy kind of want to go into those areas. That's something for them to enjoy. And then also the pavilion was finished at the middle school, so students will be able to enjoy that. And then right before school started, there was a fundraiser event at the O2 Lounge at Lake Geneva. And I'm pretty sure it was 20% of all the proceeds went to the middle school, which is really good to hear. At Jackson and all the other elementary schools, actually, they were helping to kind of fundraise and promote the first backpack giveaway that was at Snap Fitness, where if students needed some school supplies, backpacks, they could go there and get some of those. And then tonight they had their very first PTA meeting where they talked about things like walkathon, Halloween night, trunk or treat, which are all pretty big events in the fall. And then they also had a donuts with grown-ups event, which was kind of just for parents to get together, maybe learn about PTA. That was on last Friday.
That's adorable.
Yeah. At Tibbetts, they had something kind of similar. They had first day jitters, where after dropping off all the kids, they could go to Perk Up in Elkhorn and talk to other parents, grandparents, caregivers. Maybe just talk about their concerns or ask any questions. They're having a Tulips for Tibbetts fundraiser as well, which their goal is $8,000, and that's just to help raising money for field trips that all the students can go on. At what side?
You want me to do it?
Sure.
So Westside is going to do a popcorn funds, virtual ways directly support Westside activities such as a family fun night, assemblies and field trips. Westside PTA welcomes families back with popsicles on the playground and open house night. Westside admin team also welcomes staff back to school with a fun and yummy way, which was the pop brownies, like the staff like you deserve a brownie. And the kindergartners were all smiles for the first lunch in the West Side cafeteria. The CCA ended the last school year in June with a really special school-wide service project. They received a call from the Never Say Never Playground Group. They had anticipated 600 volunteers and were short 400. To help out on the last day of school, they bused their whole school to the playground site and spent their last day building an inclusive playground in Delavan. They were the only school group to aid this amazing project. The school year started in July. They are a year-round school, but the students take college courses in the fall, spring, and summer. This summer was busy, productive, and awesome. Just an example, their students completed college coursework in welding, CNC, Intro to Gateway, Intro to Diversity, microeconomics, and a cohort of students earned their nursing assistant certification. They also participated in one of their annual school-wide community service events every year for many years. The CCA has been the student workforce behind the National Night Out, held at Walworth County Fair in August. If you saw students in tie-dyed shirts, those were CCA students. They were proud to partner with organizations in Walworth County who help to keep kids safe. And then lastly, their school youth build program finished the pavilion at the middle school. They had a ribbon cutting ceremony to celebrate this awesome achievement. Their students participated in all facets of the building process, from planning to permitting to concrete/foundation, rough framing, windows, doors, siding, electrical, to name a few. And then for options, on the top there, the staff got together at the fair. The Connor, I can't say it great, but Fletcher placed third in sports division at the national yo-yo contest. Him and his teammate Lucas took first in the duos division at the Midwest Regional Yo-Yo Contest.
Wow, that's fantastic.
And then lastly, that is a picture of the principal, Mrs. Rimey, there with the students.
I'd also like to add the high school, and I'm sure I'll miss groups by mentioning it, but I know the football team, the library was very appreciative because they went on a Saturday morning and over 25 players helped move stacks of books on a project they thought was gonna take days to do, but they were able to get it done in a few hours with that help. And then also a group of high school students went and helped unload a semi from Jockey. Was that different than the Aurora, or was that the same
I think
project?
that was the thing, it was kind of like a truck, and just a bunch of boxes and moving it up into the hospital.
Yeah, so both the hospital and then the treehouse, which is the area for sexual assault victims, so when they go in, they have to collect their clothes and so forth for evidence, and so Jockey makes a donation, our students went and help unload and pack that. So, great experience. They're always very generous with their time and willing to help. It's wonderful to see. And I think, any of the community groups or organizations out there, Mr. Anslin is that community engagement coordinator, coordinates and handles those logistics with the different high school groups.
Yeah, and I did shout out to the CCA group that was at National Night Out. They were there in throngs. Whether it was greeting people, I saw quite a number of people on the North Hall out at the fairgrounds, and just throughout the whole event. Just really kudos, and I specifically stopped and said hello to some of them and thanked them for their work and their efforts.
Great report, everybody.
Yes, got that inaugural one down.
Yes. All right, Mr. Trotter,
Yes, sir.
you have the floor.
All right. My name is Chris Trotter, Director of Strategic Partnerships for the Oak Ridge School District. Talked to Jason, wanted to just share some results so you guys could see kind of the impact of our collective work as a district. And to back up just a second, this work started years ago. In fact, it was the Elk Ridge School Board adopted Redefining Ready, I think, Jason, 2016-ish? We, at the high school, we were using it. I can go back and actually look at 2016 dashboards that show some of these data points. And then fortunately enough, when you do the right work, hopefully you're rewarded for it. And then Act 59 came out in 2017, reimbursing school districts who whose students earned certifications, and those could be youth apprenticeship. Those could be technical diplomas at a Wisconsin technical college system, and industry recognized credentials or certifications. Over the course of the CT incentive grant, which is the process to earn the dollars, our district has remained very successful and at the top of the state of Wisconsin in their reimbursement. This year, we received $98,000 for our efforts. The process is we collect the data on all three categories that I talked about. There's one outlier that is unique to the Elkhorn Area School District. In the sense, our Elkhorn Youth Build is one of two districts in the state of Wisconsin to also be a DWT pre-apprenticeship program. So we get certified for that also. So all those kids earn certifications. We collect the transcripts. It's a very systemic process with all schools working together to get this work done. This data is also uploaded into Skyward, where then it is pulled for our report card at our high school. So if you look at that, we also have redefining ready data, which kind of should mirror that. The process has been arduous, but as you can see in the end, it's been rewarding. I gave you a list of, without names, of the certifications that we earned. Those are for not this year's graduating class, but 2024's graduating class. You get reimbursed and you can only submit for your graduating seniors who just graduated. Okay. So that's why it's important that as kids earn certifications as a freshman, a sophomore, a junior, a senior, we have a process to collect those certifications because there's reimbursement on the other end. So that has been, and on top of it, obviously the report card is now pulling that data also, which is really a product of the advocacy of the superintendent, school boards, and the Redefining Ready state leadership team over time. And we're happy to have those data points. So so it amounts to about, this year was about $632 per students. The goal of Act 59, when they had the legislation, was for it to be $1,000. But historically, what they've done is the state would allocate through their budget process to the Department of Workforce Development. It would flow through DPI, and they would give $5 million and then divide that by the total number of certifications. So as more certifications came in from the state, the dollar went down. I believe they added additional dollars this year. It's been a discussion over the last two biennium budgets. So I'm not exactly sure what the dollar amount is, but it's been a successful program.
So the office, yeah, I believe it's the fiscal bureau, where they put in a amount, and I believe this year they reauthorize and project what you think $1,000 per pupil will be. But it's some certain, so then they put in what they think that amount will be. But Wisconsin's been exploding in the certifications, youth apprenticeships, so over the biennium budget, that number will whittle down. So next year we should get more per pupil. But it is, like last year we had, we'll have that Redefining Ready report we'll share at the next board meeting, but I believe there's over 350 certifications, youth apprenticeships completed. So when you look at it, well, that math doesn't quite add up, but it's because it's the graduating seniors and they only get credit for one.
That's right.
So we have students who earn multiple certifications or multiple, work experiences and so forth. But that is representative of roughly 156 unique students. So of our graduating class last year, that's about 50% of all of our students left us with having completed a professional certification or a youth apprenticeship.
And some certifications that because we value that in building a student's resume, it might not be an approved certification based on the list that's at the bottom, but it's still the right thing to do and embed into the curriculum to make sure that our curriculum and the results we're getting are aligned with industry standards. To Jason's point, I'll give you an example. If you're a youth build student, I'll just use that because it's the forefront. We have a student right now who's working, well, you're not a student, graduate, who's working at Thielen Construction. So he had a youth apprenticeship before his senior year. He completed the NCCR certification, which is approved from the list. And he was a pre-apprentice per the DWD. So all three of those were certifications based on the approved certification list, which I provided a hyperlink to on the second link. But he only could count for one. So that's how that's totaled up. So I gave you a link, and then the other one is the youth apprenticeship grant dollars. Those we get about 545 per student. The grantee is Gateway Technical College. So they write a grant every year to DWD. They get dollars. You can go on the website, DWD website, and look at how much they get. And then we get reimbursed for that. The power of the YA, if you're looking from just dollars and cents, you get both the YA 545 and it counts towards the CT incentive grant. So YAs count for both grants, so you get reimbursed. So it's 545 plus 630 this year. So for every YA, it's just under $1,200. So yep. And then and then I gave you the DWDY grant information. So that's what we get. Those dollars, now just, so what do we do with those dollars? Those dollars go right back into our career technical education programs. I will say this, because that there are many districts that those dollars get stuck in the business office. And then they're used and allocated as needed. That does not happen here. And it never has happened here. Those dollars go right back to the teachers. We used we've used them for matching grants for DWD Fast Forward. We've had 2 in the last 3 years-ish. We've had one in Family Consumer Science for all new ovens and microwaves. And then we purchased a 4th access Haas mill for Mr. Thomas's manufacturing. So now he has 3 total CNC machines. So those, and DWD for the Fast Forward grant always wants matching or seed money. So we use this sometimes if it's not outlandish. Sometimes they want a 1-to-1 match, or so we'll use that also to invest back in. But those dollars go right back into it. And then the youth apprenticeship grant dollars are used for marketing, investing in kids. We'll support a kid who I had a kid years ago who got a job at Miller Motors. They needed a toolbox. He didn't have money. That was a good pool of dollars to support that kid, to make sure he had all the resources, uniforms, to make sure that experience was successful in their career. So that's an overview. Any questions?
Nice report. Questions, comments from?
It's awesome.
Yeah, will benefit greatly anytime you run into a state legislator or someone that has control over those purse strings. Any advocacy for fully funding Act 59 to the full dollar amount. For us, that'd be about $50,000 more. So, and a lot of districts, when they come through and they tour, they see our CTE area. I mean, it is an expensive area to upkeep, to maintain, but we're able to do that because of this. The program, the success, and the certifications really almost makes it self-sufficient from the replenishing and the maintenance on the equipment in that area.
All right, Chris, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Personal recommendation sheet for this.
The personnel sheet is in your packet there. The coaching reassignments or changes, the resignations. We have some transfers that are there as we enter in the school year, and some appointments of new staff.
Is there any particular reason why there were so many coaches? I just
I think
found it odd.
it's the cycle
Fine.
as far as the. I couldn't speak to each case and the, specificity on it. In our assistant coaches, we do have a lot of turnover. I think life circumstances change and.
Yeah, it was just odd. I know this is the time of year for it,
Yeah,
but
but this is the time of year, so. Any other questions? Otherwise, I would entertain a motion to approve the recommendation sheet.
I'll move to approve the personal recommendation sheet for September 8th, 2025, including new employment contracts conditioned upon passing the background check and district mandated drug screening as presented.
A second, please.
Second.
Thanks, Kathy. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, school gifts.
We have two gifts to present this evening. John Waltz has donated $100 to Westside for the purchase of supplies. And the Green Bay Packers have donated $1,000 to the youth football program. Don't pack.
Bridget said she wanted to make a motion to approve it from the Packers.
I need a motion to accept these generous gifts.
I move to accept the generous school gifts as presented.
Second, please.
I will second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you. Announcements.
All right, we do have a closed session this evening to discuss legal matters and a contract for personnel. And then we also had one reminder there's a hyperlink, which was a thank you letter from WASBO Association for us hosting the conference of the summer, which was extremely well attended. And again, I want to thank all of our custodial, maintenance, buildings and grounds department. They all put a lot of work in there and prioritized getting the high school done so they could host that large event, which I think they said was the second largest that ever.
Second or third largest, yep.
Yeah,
I think there's 400 people at the high school.
Outstanding,
Yeah.
so. Yeah, they were very appreciative.
Nice
That's
job,
all we have.
Nick and staff, so. With that, I entertain a motion to go into closed session.
I'll move to adjourn to contemplate a closed session pursuant to Wisconsin State Statute 1985, para 1, para C, and para G, to discuss a contract for the position of Director of Special Education, and to confer with legal counsel who is rendering oral and written advice concerning strategy to be adopted by the district with respect to litigation in which it is or is likely to become involved. School board will reconvene in open session for action on said contract for the Director of Special Ed position as appropriate. And
Second.
we're to adjourn.
Second, please.
Second.
Okay, I'll recall.
Mr. Andre,
Yes.
Eric Gordon,
Yes.
Mrs. Costock,
Yes.
Mrs. Reckles.
Yes.
Mr. Scarrow,
Yes.
Mrs. Vaughn,
Yes.
Mr. Grieving,
That's it.
Yeah.
and Ms. Krakowski.
Yes.
Right.
Thank you, students, well done, that's your first one, you don't even have to stay for closed sessions, but
Good
well
night.
done. Joy, this will probably be your shortest one.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely,
Good stuff.
definitely wrong with that.
The weird part about it is.
Thank you for those that attended online, have a great evening.
I'll start a lot of stuff.
Closed session minutes.